Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Tombstone Tourist. Last week, I visited the grave of Dr. Harvey Black here in Westview Cemetery in Blacksburg, Virginia. Dr. Black was one of the attending physicians who assisted Dr. Hunter Holmes McGuire in the amputation of General Stonewall Jackson's left arm during the Civil War at Chancellorsville. This week, I'm going to walk just a short distance up the hill from Dr. Black's grave and visit the final resting place of a more modern-day Civil War figure. Today, I'm going to be visiting the final resting place of one of America's premier Civil War historians. Here, we find the final resting place of Professor James I. Bud Robertson. James I. Robertson Jr. was born on July the 18th, 1930 in Danville, Virginia. After graduating from high school, Bud attended Randolph-Macon College, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in 1955. He went on to obtain a master's degree and a doctorate from Emory University. From an early age, Bud developed an interest in history, especially Civil War history. As a result, he became America's premier Civil War historian. He was one of the most popular professors at Virginia Tech, where he taught thousands of students from 1967 until 2011. At Virginia Tech, his classes always filled up quickly, and his students always left with a greater understanding about the Civil War and the years of Reconstruction that followed. In addition to his work at Virginia Tech, Professor Robertson was the founding executive director of the Virginia Center for Civil War Studies. He is also considered the nation's preeminent scholar on General Stonewall Jackson. In fact, he was so well respected that he served as the chief historical consultant for the 2003 Warner Brothers film, God and Generals. In 1961, Professor Robertson was nominated by President John Kennedy to serve as the executive director of the Civil War Centennial Commission. 50 years later, he was named as the charter member of the Virginia Civil War Sesquicentennial Commission. Professor Robertson did extensive research on the funeral of President Abraham Lincoln. As a result, in 1963, he contributed a great deal of information and played a vital role in the planning of the funeral of President John Kennedy. It was because of Professor Robertson's detailed research that the East Room of the White House appeared almost exactly as it did for both the funerals of President Lincoln and President Kennedy. During his long and distinguished career, Professor Robertson authored more than 20 books about the Civil War, including Stonewall Jackson, the Man, the Soldier, the Legend, General A.P. Hill, Jackson and Lee, Legends in Gray, and probably my favorite book, After the Civil War, The Heroes, Villains, Soldiers, and Civilians Who Changed America. In addition to being a respected educator and author, Professor Robertson was also a talented public speaker. From Gettysburg to Shiloh and Antietam to Appomattox, Bud Robertson shared his vast knowledge with everyone, from school children to America's historians. I was fortunate to hear Professor Robertson speak several times over the years, and I always learned something. But more importantly, I always left with a greater understanding about one of this country's darkest eras. I think the most memorable time for me came at Appomattox during one of the anniversary observances. I was captivated by his knowledge and his passion about the events leading up to the surrender and about what actually went on that afternoon in Wilmer McLean's parlor. It was always a treat to hear him speak, and I will always cherish those memories. Even after retiring from Virginia Tech in 2011, Professor Robertson continued to speak and share his knowledge with those willing to listen. Professor Bud Robertson passed away at the age of 89 on November 2nd, 2019. He is resting here among the Civil War veterans in Blacksburg's Westview Cemetery. Well, this is where I'm going to end this video. I hope you've enjoyed my visit to the final resting place of author, educator, and Civil War scholar Bud Robertson. If any of you ever had the opportunity to hear Professor Robertson speak, hope you'll share your thoughts and memories in the comments. As always, if you haven't already done so, I hope you'll ring that bell and subscribe. And if you're so inclined, a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Now, until next time, please remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.